What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been about a year since I last posted my full-length video. Just been super busy doing things with work and everything like that. But today we're going to be going over the 2016 Maserati Gran Turismo S. Is this the best and cheapest way to look like you have money? Well, let's take a look. And let's find out. This example features a nice metallic black paint, similar to what you'd find on earlier Mopars, like my 06 Charger. It has the same kind of metallic sparkle to it. Opening up, we see we are greeted with beautiful brown leather interior with carbon fiber accents along the dashboard and the doors. Now stepping inside the vehicle, we are greeted with a nice set of blue instrument clusters and a digital readout in the center. Steering wheel has a few buttons on it with your paddle shifters located to either side. The interior is a nice place to sit. Pretty good visibility out of it, despite what it is. And normally, you would be greeted with a smaller infotainment screen with some buttons down here. Kind of looks like a calculator or a telephone. This particular example has been retrofitted with an Apple CarPlay friendly device. So, in order to start it, take your key, insert it into the slot like so. So, sitting in the vehicle, there's a few things that we can go over. Coming over here, start, light switch, fuel door. This is for the trunk, parking sensors, the mode button, which is what controls what we see right here in the center display. And then we have the controls to brighten or dim the instrument panel accordingly. These buttons also control what we can select within the mode switch. So, coming over here, you can see if I click the mode button, we can see trip information, what your fuel economy is. You can see what your tire pressure is, if your heated seat is on or off. Same with the passenger seat. You have different travel distances, so you can view, you can see what your speeds are and things like that. Some cool displays. You have your RPM indicator. I have that off. Now if I turn that on, what will happen is in the center where you saw the park logo, you'll see a little half circle, and that kind of acts as like an RPM gauge. As you can see, I always thought that feature was kind of cool. And that's what you can select in there. You can see we have our cooling gauge over here, fuel gauge off to the left, the mileage, and then the miles per hour if you don't like looking at the analog version, and the time. Moving over here, we have a couple extra buttons. This is the sport button, so this sharpens the throttle response, makes the shifts a lot louder, and this car has an active exhaust system. So if I click this sport button, the rear exhaust valves will open up and give us a little bit more sound. Turning that off shuts up the valves. We have ice mode, which essentially is like your eco mode. It basically reduces everything, reduces the power level and everything like that, so it maximizes your fuel efficiency. We have your parking sensors, and then traction control if you want to have a little fun. Now, as I stated before, this is an aftermarket system. Normally there would be a different infotainment system in here. You'd have some buttons and your creature comforts down here where this would be, and then you'd have a smaller display up here that would display stuff like radio information, Bluetooth, time, things like that. Down here we can see we have the hazard switch and the lock unlock for the vehicle. In the passenger seat we have a nice Gran Turismo Sport emblem. Opening the hood of a Gran Turismo S, we find the 4.7 liter V8 engine producing 454 horsepower. This is an upgrade from the older Gran Turismo, which had a 4.2 liter engine producing 405 horsepower. Power is being sent to the rear wheels using a 6-speed automatic gearbox. So, the Gran Turismo. Why did I say earlier that this is one of the cheapest ways to look like you have money? Well, it's simply due to the fact that these things lose value like crazy. These cars with some relatively decent mileage, around 50,000 miles, are trading for about $30,000 to $40,000. You can find some with even more miles on it. It might be a little bit less. And the older models are even less than that. But what are you getting? Well, you're getting an Italian sports car with an exotic emblem. You're paying for the Maserati logo. For those who know about the history of the Maseratis, now they go way, way back. They have some great cars, they have some crap cars. Mostly known for their MC12 supercar, which was based on the Ferrari Enzo. And this car was kind of the revival of the brand. You saw the MC12 back in the 2000s, and there wasn't really much after that. This car came back, I believe it was for Gran Turismo, the video game. Maserati designed this thing, and they actually sold the car. And these cars, when they were new, were approaching $100,000. If you got the MC Stradale, those are holding value a little more than the S's and the standard models. But the reason why you would possibly consider one of these is because of the value that you can get it at. The original owners, they took a huge loss when they got into one of these cars, but if you're buying one of these second-hand, third-hand, however many owners you might have for this, I'd say you're getting a pretty good bargain. Yes, the running costs are much higher. You know, it is Italian, it is a Maserati, so parts are going to be a little more. A couple of the things that I personally like about the car is the way it looks. I think it looks pretty damn good. I do enjoy the way the front kind of rakes down. It makes it give you kind of an aggressive stance. You know, the engine, it's a great engine. It does have a couple problems here and there, but overall the performance that you can get out of it is very, very impressive. The car is a little heavy. It's a little heavier than I would like. I believe it's around 4,300 pounds, so that's actually heavier than my 6.1 Charger, which is a 4-door, and that thing is huge. It's a boat. But I'd argue that this is more of a boat. The sound that this engine produces is otherworldly. So, to hear how it sounds, we're going to step back inside the vehicle. Let's fire it up. I'm going to give you a couple revs with the valves open and the valves closed. So here we are with valves closed. This is your completely normal everyday mode. Now if I click the sport button, the valves open. Huge difference in sound. It's incredible. overall rating on the Maserati Gran Turismo, I give it a 7 out of 10. While it is a fantastic car to drive, it handles beautifully, sounds great, and looks great, and the value for the money, what you're getting is incredible. It does have its problems. These things have been known to be quite unreliable. There's different sorts of problems. I haven't really done too much research into some of these problems, but I know that some of them are rather costly because, well, it is a Maserati. Now, if this was any other sports car from like America or something, it probably wouldn't be so bad. The insurance isn't too bad on this either because it's an older car. But overall, like I said, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. You know, $35,000 for a decent example. Just looking previously before firing up the video here, I was kind of taking a look, and you can find some for $35,000. You know, 2016 cars, 2018 cars around the same price, and I believe those have an 8-speed. Same ZF you'd find in a Scat Pack or a BMW or something like that. So that'll do it for this video. I will have some drag racing content coming up as we are in Ohio right now for the Mopar event that happens every year. So make sure you stick around for that. Make sure to like the video, leave a comment, tell me what you want to see next. What are your thoughts on the Gran Turismo? And with that, take care. Have a good one.